We are live, gentlemen. Gentlemen, it's been a while since we've had
Mhm.
multiple people, more than two. It's been Quinn. So I guess we need to start at the top.
Yeah, what do you
Congratulations
have?
to
It was just
Matt.
you and Jeremy last week, was it? Or was that me and
Uh,
Alex?
last week was you and Alex, I think,
That's right. That was last week.
because I was coming back from
That
Arkansas,
night.
and
Yes.
Jeremy was at Riddle
That Riddle
Steel, right?
Steel. Yeah, so it was you guys.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good
that's
episode.
right. Oh yeah, because Robert
Yeah.
just finished
Mhm.
dominating with his filthy list.
Total
right.
domination.
Speaking of the devil, people have been asking about it, so I figured we'll
Yeah.
I don't think this is a surprise to anybody.
Spoiler
The new
alert.
Filthmeister.
Yeah, so this is the list. So I'm actually thinking about. I want to ask about a change in a minute. There may be a way to get a little bit more filthy, but so we got two Red Goblin Scouts,
Oh Jesus!
5 hordes of Siegebreakers, a Mammoth, an Ogre Warlock with Conjure Staff and Drain Life, Sergeant with the crossbow, which honestly, like he's kind of like the like some games he's a superstar, and other games he doesn't do much. So I don't know. I'm kind of like Berserker Bully. 2 of them, one with the Blade of Slashing and Namagrok. So that's 2,300 points. One of the things I've been thinking is basically drop the Conjure Staff, and then that would allow me to drop the Sergeant and convert him to a 3rd Bully. But the flip side is the Sergeant does give me that 30-inch range, reach out to touch somebody, but it's only the five shots. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? This list versus
I'm just
3rd Bully.
I just tried to scroll the screen on my iPad to go up your list.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I guess the thing is, he combos with the Warlock. You've only got one Warlock, one and plus
one Warlock and one Namagarok. Yeah. So
yeah, I like it for volume of shooting combined with those 2 guys. I like the Sergeant. I think on paper Triple Bully is filthier, but I think the Sergeant gives you more options.
You get a little scenario play at the end. Yeah, I kind of like it too. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's you put good units in an army and it's going to do good. So if you added a 3rd bully, it would be good because the bully is good. But if you like playing this, I mean, have you found you like having that little bit of like reach out and touch you?
Yeah, it's like there's been games where the first game at this past event, I knocked out the Abyssal special wizard, like his only source of Bane Chant on turn 1. Because I got lucky. I hit like 4 times, right? And rolled a good nerve dice. So there is that potential. And the fact he does have 10 attacks, right? Hitting on 3s. So, in the flank, 10 attacks. He's normally at 5. So 10 versus 16, it's not that much different. But I don't know. I will say the Berserker Bullies make this list go. I mean, I'll give you a couple of examples. Like in one game against Varnger, I put a horde of Siegebreakers and a Berserker Bully all the way over to my right flank. And the gentleman had the formation, the 2 hordes of the Raiders with the shooting, the 18-inch shooting, but they're in the formation, so they're upgraded to Thunder 2. And he had Magnilda over there. And what I was able to do was basically he got Magnilda into the bully, didn't kill the bully. The Siegebreakers took one of the regiments, right? And I was prepared to take a second hit from the other Raider troop, right? Or the other Raider regiment. But because Magnilda is only height 2 and the bully's height 3, I'm like, and I'm nimble. I can see the other regiment. So I was able to like pivot around and smack the bully into the other regiment, tie them up, kill Magnilda. Like it just bought me a whole other turn, right? Like if it didn't have the bully there, the other regiment would have probably killed off the Siegebreakers. Because everybody said, it's defense 6. There's enough defense. There's enough crushing strength and thunder charge in this game to it's not that big a deal. I mean, I just played a game yesterday against my nemesis Bowen, and he brought an abyssal, and we've been going like I win, he wins, I win, he wins. And yesterday he brought just a little. Well, let me tell you what was his list. He had abyssals. He had 3 hordes of Molochs. He had a bunch of imps. He had 2 flame bearers, Bale. I think 2 warlocks, 2 Cronius. And I think two troops of gargoyles. Just enough though. Like his shooting was on point. Like turn 1, he got a horde of Siegebreakers on turn 1 and a second horde on turn 2. And I'm like,
Wow,
okay,
that's pretty good.
well, if you can get around to the flank, they're only defense 5. He's piercing 1. He's wounded on 4s. So he got me yesterday. So like everybody's like, oh, this is a filthy list. Yeah, it's filthy, but like
there's a lot of filthy lists, right?
There's
now.
a lot of filthy lists, and I've been beaten lots of times. Kyle Poole has beaten me senseless, right? Like just goblins. So
yeah, I think there's enough competitive filth, right,
Yeah.
to go against most lists now. I still don't believe that there's a list that's really standing out as unbeatable.
exactly, and I will say it's matchups, right? So I went 5-0 at the tournament, but I went 5-0 because I played armies I could beat. If you want to punch me in the nuts, that's fine because that's what I want to do to you. So when I played the Twilight King with the formation, I was like,
yeah,
okay, you want to punch me? Now, let's talk about filth for a minute. Mikhail is filth, like straight up garbage pail filth.
Well,
like,
did you see the top 3 lists at Dead of Winter? I have them.
Okay, would you like to share them?
Sure. Let me share.
Yeah, but while Jeremy's getting that, there's different. I've just lost 3 games in a row to halflings, right? Because I just can't get through their. I can't get through their unit strength in time with Basilian variants.
We have to zoom in pretty much. Jeremy.
There you go.
Yeah, that's interesting. I have yet to play halflings yet. That's another one that I'm excited.
And I tell you what, EJ Grenadiers. I just lost a game. They are so good. They're better than the aeronauts in the list. I spent the whole game. I just lost a game. I said, oh, look, it's a draw. And he's like, no, dude, I won. And I was like, what? They're unit strength 2? Because they're large infantry. I've just been thinking they were infantry. And they're the best maneuverable flying unit going around, I reckon. Unit strength 2, nimble, flying. Oh, so good.
So this is a list from Dead of Winter?
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm just getting them all set. I have 3 of them.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah. So these were the top 3 lists at Dead of Winter. Do you guys see them okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this was, I think, this was either second or first. So 2 Twilight Kins are first and second. So this one had 5 regiments of Twilight Glade Stalkers.
Oops, sorry.
Blade Dancer Neophytes, 3 Mind Screeches, a Soulbane, Rob's favorite Mikhail, and Lethael Blackheart.
Let's just talk about Mikhail for a minute. That is some straight up bullshit. Like the fact that he's an individual who can pivot 360, charge 18 inches, and then doubles his attacks against. Did we lose it?
I'm going to share the next one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. But he's got 7 attacks, which doubles against heroes,
and
Titans or monsters, and he's crushing X amount. He's dash 16. I'm like, yeah, that's rough, dude. Rough. But you know what kills him?
Not only that, Rob. Imagine host of the Shadow Beast.
Yeah, well, my opponent didn't have that.
Okay, so here's list number 2. Another Twilight Kin list. This one is the one that I believe Corey Reynolds was playing. So a little bit more combined arms.
What's with all the Twilight Kin all of a sudden?
I don't know. So this one has a regiment of Impalers, 2 Glade Stalkers now only, and this is like what more similar to what I've been running. 2 Glade Stalkers, Neophyte Horde with Hammer of Measured Force, Gargoyles, take some Butcher Chaff. It's got some Fiends, some Needle Fangs, a couple of Mind Screeches, Mikhail and Blackheart. So Mikhail and Blackheart are the same from both this list and the other list. This one has a little bit more combined arms stuff, but still has a couple of the Glade Stalkers. But a little bit more, this one seems a little bit more combined arms, but still with some effective shooting.
Yeah.
So then now let's take a look at the last one. And then once we see all 3, I'm curious to see what you guys like. What's the beat you're picking up that's being thrown down? Okay, so this is the last one. Horde of Forest Guard with haste, 3 Glade Stalkers, 2 Shamblers, Silver Breeze Stormwees, 2 Master Hunters, and then also an Archmage.
So,
and the Master
anybody that says shooting is dead is BS, right?
Yeah, and the Master Hunters have one has the extra Slayer, one has the extra Rampage.
I like Corey's list, honestly,
Yeah.
but
So I
I also
think
like Corey.
yeah.
So
I
it's
think
hard. It's hard to pick against Corey.
I think what you're going to see is a lot of these initial first few tournaments are going to be all the effective shooting that got put back into the game, and then people are going to figure it out, right? Like I don't how many lists there had the Spell Ward banner, or how many lists had Veil of Shadows, but I think this is going to be like the initial Boogeyman sort of list out of
Right.
the
Yep.
first, and I think there is counters to this because we saw them in testing counters to these sort of lists. So, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I think, yeah, there's a lot. There,
I
we
think
need more
it's a bit
data.
of short-term pain.
Yeah, some of the stuff is going to shake out as being not too bad, and there is going to be some filth that's getting through that probably will have to be toned down a little bit.
I think it's going to be a lot of the usual problems will be like what problems have mostly been is that the problems are worst for new players, right? Once it figures out, and a triple Gladestalker or a quadruple Gladestalker list is going to be a big problem for new players. So I think while I don't mind seeing them as lists, they're also lists that could discourage those new players if they get up and get ruffle stomped by them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally like the lists themselves aren't that bad. You know, I think for new players, the problem that I see is we're kind of getting into this Hero Hammer territory, right? Like 5th edition Hero Hammer, where you'd have like honestly, like Mikhail is almost impossible to you've got to let him get killed, right? Like he's ridiculous.
But my understanding is he hasn't changed from second, really, has he?
He's cheaper. He's just cheaper.
He's a bit cheaper.
He's like 40, 34 to 34 points cheaper.
Not a small amount cheaper.
He's 230 right now, and he was 260 or 270.
Yeah, plus or minus 5 points, but yeah, in that range. So
I don't mind that. Like if you're paying almost 10% of your army for a non-scoring character.
Yeah, I know how to beat him, so I beat him. But like I can see like really pissing off new players because you you got a guy that can go 360, goes 18 inches, and just deletes units. Deletes characters and monsters, right? Because at what is it? There's 7 attacks, which doubles, so 14 attacks hitting on 3s with elite. What's he got? Crushing 2. I mean, it's rough, but I don't know. What I would say is just be cautious, right? Wait, let it run its course a little bit. You know, it's the same thing with halflings. Like everybody's like halfling. I don't know if the halflings are that good.
Yeah,
I don't know yet. Like
I think
they have a lot of nerve.
Halflings are good from I don't think a new player would come up against halflings and go, I just got ruffle stomped by that. Like halfling strength is scenario play. Unless they're all shooting, that could be a bad list to feel bad against halflings. Sorry, me covering the camera there. But I don't think you're going to kind of get all your toys taken off the board.
Right.
In fact, in the last 3 games I've played, it's been the opposite. I've been completely pounding away on their units, and then you get to turn 6 and you're like, shit, there's still a lot left.
So Tony's asking what happened to the half bin. Tony, I decided I wanted to win.
Yeah, he found an army that wins, Tony.
Yeah, the Kingdoms of Men. Honestly, Kingdoms of Men is a counterpunching army that I think you're pushing a rock uphill. You can win games with them, but it's I think you have to lean into the gun line if you really want to win. And that's not as much fun to me.
It's not fun.
Well, let's do this, gentlemen. I'm going to bring up what we can do tonight is we're going to chat about and share some of the submissions for our February hobby challenge. So let me bring this up, add this to the stream. Hopefully you guys can see this. So this is February. February, we're going to have a monster, a titan, a hero, or a war engine. I know technically there's still a day left in the month. So if you haven't put your stuff in, by all means do that tomorrow. We figured we'd share, some of the submissions that we got. So I've been liking following Sebastian's work. He's been doing a lot of halflings. And, very colorful.
I sent my halfling mega army. I got one, and I've sent it off to the job labor to be assembled.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Dropped it off on the
Yeah,
weekend.
you know, I've been in discussions. Like, I kind of like, I played ogres for so long, and I keep coming back to them. I'm ready for something different, and I think so I started cleaning my garage today, and I didn't get it finished yet because there's just so much crap. But I have a built Night Stalker army, and I have a built Goblin army,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking I'll play Night Stalkers.
Yeah, if
Cool.
you want something different, go Night Stalkers for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's a good segue because we do have a Night Stalker army review that's been recorded that I'm editing now. So,
Yeah.
so that was kind of a little shot in the arm.
Solid range of Mantic models. Plus, if you want to get a couple of cool monsters from other companies, they slot right in. You know, that's a good army. I think.
We were talking about that on the show, but like really, the Dead Zone range has some really cool monsters that work well for like a Planner Apparition and a Void Lurker and some of that stuff. The Nameless is the faction that has those crazy monsters.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I picked up some of those monsters. So yeah,
Well,
I'm probably gonna start painting. Go ahead.
I've just realised with their Huffling, this is the first time Mantic's basically released almost the entire range, isn't it? For an army.
In one go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically one go. I think we haven't seen that before, which is another sign of progression.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I know they're popular. I know locally for Nick, he's picked them up. And I know Kyle Peach has been playing them, and so so this is Sebastian's entry. This is the Saucer, which I think is a really cool model. Yeah, really cool model. He's got some extra pictures here. So back and there you go. That's awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah, cool.
So is the whole pot flying? Is that what this is supposed to be down here? Like this is a small air elemental that he's channeled to push him forward?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the color of that soup, I wouldn't be drinking that.
Looks like
looks like something that somebody upchucked.
Jelly beans in there.
Yeah. I mean, that's like someone vomited in the cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
So Warplock Minis, this guy Mark is saying this is what he's using. Oh, that'd be a great sauce.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Very cool.
Where's it from?
Warplock Miniatures. I think they're out of Poland.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is a cool one. Beauty and the Beast.
Here's our buddy Patch. Yep, making little eggs on top. I like it. That's
nice.
Yeah,
I like.
nice.
There's something about Patch's art style. I just it's like I don't know.
It's that comic kind of pops, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah, very.
But it's like it's almost.
comic
I don't want to say sloppy, but it's almost like
mm-hmm.
it's about just almost like throwing colors on there. And just,
it's like it has a watercolor feel to it almost. Pastels.
Yeah, I really like it too. It's funny. My child labor after I dropped it up on Saturday because the Iron Beast in the Mega Army comes in one piece. It's already assembled. And so that afternoon, I got this picture saying, I've already done the Iron Beast, and all they've done is slap it on a base.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. So this is with Ryan. Looks like he's got a couple of halflings he's working on here. Oh, this is a cool guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what.
Want to see some more progress by the end of the month there, Riley?
You only got one day to go, bro.
Yeah.
Basing a model doesn't count.
Fits with his other YouTube armies, doesn't it?
Billy's been working on some Storm Slayers. These are cool.
Oh, people are using this photo room app, aren't they? It comes up.
Yeah. It does. It's pretty awesome. See, this is an example. Yeah, this is really. I like the color tone. I like the pinkish on the nose. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love
kind of
Billy.
like the off yellow almost.
I like it. But I still am not a fan of. I hate to say this, but 3D prints, man, where you can see the lines like that. It's just like,
Yeah, that to me though, you shouldn't get that as much on resin. So I'm wondering if that's
I think he's got a resin. I think this is a resin printer.
Yeah.
But he's on. He can chat. He can share.
Yeah, it just depends on the type of printer you have as well. I think the size it can go down to.
Right. Let's see. Oh, Charles, Sylvankin Dragon Kindred Lord. I'm digging that.
Like
what is that
dragon?
From?
Wow, that's cool.
I've seen this before. I can't remember what range it's from.
That's sweet, man. That is sweet.
That is really cool.
Yeah, Billy says, it's resin. Yeah,
nice OSL on the chest.
Oh, so Billy's just saying his skills aren't there yet. So And as his skills progress, he'll buy himself a better printer.
Well, F you then, Billy, if you're not kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you.
This is a great dragon.
How
This
can
is
you
really
live
cool.
yourself, Billy? Jeez.
Yeah, seriously.
You
Yeah, no,
guys-
I really like that model. I've never seen that one before.
Uh-oh. I'm a fan of ogres.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What's with
and
What's
Jefferson just mentioned too. Also, depending on the angle, it'll stand out more or not.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does it look like there's a gap in the front, or is it just me?
Yes.
Looks like it's a spot for a campfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like a roasted pig or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love roast pork? Seriously, unless you're a vegetarian.
I'm digging
Oh,
this
that's
too.
looking cool.
A mammoth, I like that. I don't know what that's from. If that's a red, I'm not sure what that's from.
That looks like
This looks like a Warriors of
kit bash.
Chaos banner.
Yeah, I think
So-
that's like a kit bash conversion.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
does that look like a Lord of the Rings base or
This looks like
not?
a cherry
No,
base
I don't
to
think it's
me.
big enough for the Lord of the Rings one.
No, you mean the Oliphant? Oh, by the way, put a pin in that. I got to come back and talk about that too. Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I may have acquired some stuff.
Yeah, of course you have.
Ooh, all my Dungeon Saga stuff came today.
Did it really? Awesome. Oh wait, here
So
we
when
go.
do you
Ryan
plan
Lisa.
to play that? Is it going to be like your Friday night tournament thing, or?
I don't know
Yeah,
yet. So go ahead.
Sorry, oh no, go for it.
Nope. Dungeon Saga.
Oh, well, I'm gonna get a kit up for my local gaming group, and then I think it will be something I bring that if people want to sign up on Friday or Saturday night, I'll do, because you can like make your own adventures and stuff. So I am thinking of some ones, and I'd love to do it with like people's characters from their armies or like the end bosses. Like I have one adventure where the end boss is going to be like the Mind Screech from my army, and you're going down into her cave. So I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I think it's a cool place for. Oh, is this Brenton's?
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
I like that.
I love the skin
Yeah.
tone. The almost orangish red against the blue.
Yeah,
And
dude,
then-
man, his stuff pops so much.
Rob, I think Jefferson's also put the answer to that dragon mini.
Perfect. Yeah, so Mini Monster Mayhem made the dragon 3D printed. That's awesome.
Nice, cool model.
Thanks, Jefferson. That was awesome. I may have to get that printed. That's a sweet looking model.
I just pre-ordered the Army Painter, the mega set for the new quick paints, whatever theirs are called.
Oh, a lot of people. I've seen a lot of
Speed
videos
paints.
of people saying they like those better than whatever.
Which is why I picked them up, because I think the basic set's been out for a while, but then the mega set's due out at the end of March, so I just pre-ordered it and thought, and I'll probably use those on the halflings.
Nice,
awesome. And then Jefferson did
Billy, I
mention
like this.
the dragon's available in a couple poses, which is cool too. I always like that too.
Perfect. The face paint around the eyes, man. That's legit.
Yeah. It looks really cool.
That's really cool.
Well, maybe I'll see it next the 12th of March. We have a one day. Maybe we'll see Rift Forge Orcs.
Take a second look, right?
Yeah. Let's just keep rolling. Oh, what do we got here? Travis Cook. Oh, what a dirty man. 3 heavy mortars. Honestly, though, I tell everybody, if you're going to take one, you might as well take 3. I mean,
that's always been the thing with War Machine.
I like that purple skin.
Yeah.
It pops.
Actually,
and I like
it's different. You don't often see I like that. You don't often see people take their main colors onto their War Machines as well. I think that's cool.
Yeah, looks great. Let's see here. Oh, what's this one? Got an Iron Caster done. This is from Travis Cook. Oh, same person that did these ones. Ooh, he's doing a little OSL. I like that.
Nice.
So that's something I have not tried yet. OSL. At some point, I probably should try it, give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. That looks probably like an airbrush. Airbrush OSL, I've been told, is much easier to do. My airbrush still is sleeping in its box from when I purchased it.
Someday, I need to do the same thing.
Someday. Yeah.
I need to get off my butt and actually paint. Get an airbrush. I really should get an airbrush for the Night Stalkers. Honestly, that's like a perfect.
Oh, they would go so well with an airbrush.
Yeah, that could be a good army to force you to learn a thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And if it messes it up, who cares? They're like, yeah. So we got another couple of shots here. Let's see. The back of the cloak. I like the fact that it's basically purple, green, and yellow, right? And it's
yeah, that's cool. It's almost
very
ethereal.
Cool. Yeah. All right, Matt's got last month's regiments. So these are Shadowhounds.
Cool.
We talked about this last one too. I love the speckles on this where he's flicked the little white paint.
Is that like a cactus back there? So this is like you
totally
go to you go to Joshua Tree and all of a sudden this stuff comes out. Oh, creepy!
It comes out of the ground at you.
Yeah. That reminds me of like if you like go out into the desert and have like a bad trip. That's probably what you would see. And it's like a kitty cat, but that's what you're seeing. Not
this
that
is out at Area 51.
Exactly.
Sure.
Aliens. There you go. I like. See, how's the Australian know that better than us? Good Lord. Of course, that's what he's going for. Area 51.
Rob, what theme would you go for with your Night Stalkers?
Ooh, I don't know. So I've already kind of built them just kind of like stock. I'm using all the regular models, and this is a good segue because I've been thinking about like what color, right? And one idea I had, which I have no idea how I would pull it off, would be to just paint everything like xenomorph. So very dark. Because honestly, like if you are a fan of aliens, you know that the movies, they're not all black. There's like gold ones and blue ones, and they all have like this shiny metallic and glossy. But the problem is that would work. That would look good on like Reapers and Butchers and Shadowhounds and that, and that kind of thing, Dread Fiends. But then there's like almost like ethereal guys that I don't know how I'd make that work with those like the Soul Flayers. I mean, they're literally like ghosts riding giant ethereal horses. So like I don't know. I guess my problem I'm coming up with is I've got lots of great ideas, but I'm just wondering how can I tie everything in together?
I'll set some rules for you.
All right.
Not black and not dark purple.
Fair.
There you go. Do something fresh. What do you have? Do you have a phobia? Do it based on a phobia of yours.
Are you referring to like a phobia just in general, or like a phobia of a specific color?
No.
I don't want to paint yellow.
Phobia in general. Phobia in general.
Okay. Another idea I had was, and I hadn't really researched this very much, but I had also thought about painting them up like in a Harry Potter type thing, where like they look like Dementors, basically. That look like there's like nasty rags.
Could be awesome. Yeah.
So I'll probably just like get a few models out of the box that are already put together and just start playing with them.
I think that's the best way to do it when you're figuring out an army. Do just paint up some test models. Just grab 3 or 4 and just start putting random stuff until something sticks.
I'm loving Travis's color scheme. This guy just looks
purple
evil.
And brass always looks so. I think that's got to be like a brass.
Well, and I love the fact that it's got the copper brass color, but then he's got like the weathering effect.
Yeah.
Or the patina. God, it's so good.
That looks
so good. Let's see what we got here. All right, Michael Smith. He's got some Horde of Braves. Looking tasty.
Yeah, cool.
I am a person that have not gotten Braves to work effectively for me, so I don't know. I'm not smart enough players.
They used to be in the change to third. They used to be the thing you'd take to boost your warlocks, right? But with the change to the warlock rule, they're not as necessary anymore.
Right.
I still think I think the regiment's a good thick chaff.
Well, yeah, I think we had this conversation. I've kind of moved away from them just because the bullies do the same thing. But the bullies, I still think the regiment plays a different role, right? Like 120 wide, you can lock down 2 units. And I really kind of use what I use to lock down units is the scouts because they're a little bit cheaper and they're like, oh, I jumped 20 inches with a pivot, and can really get out there and not get in my way. So, you know what else I've been doing lately that I've been finding a lot of fun? I don't know if you guys done this. People have been bitching about my list. Such a rough list. I said, well, then you play it. If it's so freaking easy, you play it and give me your. So Taylor, if you're watching, sorry, bro, didn't mean to kick your ass with your own army yesterday, but but no, but I will say, being on the receiving end of that beating, because like I gave him so this is so I gave him like this one. I'm like, he's not gonna see it. He's gonna take this, and I'm gonna get him right. Like I'm gonna get him at the trap. So I gave him like obsidian golems, in difficult terrain, right? And then like and I what's the one that knocks their toughness, the unit's weakness? I weakness this unit. So I'm like, okay, if he sends this guy in weakness, he'll be hitting on 4s. He did Bane chant him to negate the weakness, but you're still only crushing 2. You get wounded on 4s. And I'm like, okay, 18 attacks, hitting on 4s. So that's 9 hits, 5 or 6 wounds. You're not going to pop dash 17, right? Because I had already also had put something into the mammoth, a flying hero that he had. So that kept the mammoth 12 inches away, so he couldn't give the mammoth the 2 inches. And I'm like, he's going to hit me, he's going to tar pit, and then I'm going to flank him with the Immortal Guard. I'm going to kick his ass. He freaking did like 12 wounds and then popped him. I was like, oh, he spiked the roll. Wasn't supposed to do that.
And he's like, that's what you get, Rob.
Yeah. And well, what I was going to say is it's funny being on the op, because you sometimes forget if you can roll at least reasonably okay, siege breakers drop a lot of damage.
Yes.
It's all about the hits. If you land the hits, the wounds usually come with the crushing 2, right? That not usually a problem.
Yeah, those 18 attacks, 3s and 3s or 3s and 4s units, a lot of the times you're going to break 15, 17 on one combat round if you're, at average or above. So yeah, those you do not want to get charged by. And,
I got to show him how to use Surge. So he got to see Surge shenanigans, which was nice. Because, greater obsidian golems in the flank actually can do some damage. So...
Oh, we have just such a new Rob this year. He's beating people with his list. He's beating people with their own list. What's going on here, man?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, here's
constant messages in our private chat. Guess who I just fucked up?
No, you know what? Here's the funny part. The ogres were 0-2 yesterday, so I lost to Bowen, and then I beat the ogres with his list. So
what you're trying to say, Rob, is that you think you've developed some skill.
No, I just know how to push. Here's what the skill is: keep the ogres facing the battle line. That's the big thing, and just know when to chaff them up, because I only had the 2 units of scouts, so I have to there's limits of what I can.
So I'm
chaff
assuming
up.
With your scouts, you deploy them behind your ogres so they can't get shot off, and then you move them in front.
Yep. I'll move everything up to maybe 14 or 15 away, and then pop them through. Put him in a position that usually in a gap where like on the left flank against Bowen, he had Acronius, Imps, and Molochs. And the Molochs were kind of staggered behind the Imps a little bit. And basically put the scouts in a way that's the only thing he could hit. And so then the ogres were pushed up within 12, and that was it. So the ogres get the first punch. But it's
also where you can use the Wrangler, right? Because the Wrangler can surprise people by just popping out.
I gotta get the guy painted on the table. I do want to try him. I wonder.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
I just don't know if he's
taking certainly more than one.
Well, and the bully is just, the bully is just so good, right? He's just so good, man. So yeah, this is really cool from Chase. A lot of value.
I love that giant. Yeah.
Yeah, now Chase, for those who don't know, Chase is trying to get a little scene going down there on the coast of Mississippi. Now, I don't know if you Australian boys know where Mississippi is, but that's the deep south, as we would say.
I know how to spell it.
Mississippi, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I don't know what's yeah. So he's down there, and we're trying to hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to get him up to Kings of Memphis. But this is a really cool, a cool model. I like it. Is it a 3D print? No,
Reaper. It's Reaper.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it looks
Jeremy, by the way, did you see the thing that someone tagged you in a new group of 4 or 5 players not far from you?
I'm playing with them. I'd already set. I'm going over there next weekend. Actually,
he's on. Guys, I'm already on it. I already met with him.
Nice. What if they then leave? Then we know that you're the cause of everyone leaving.
Oh,
That is true. Yeah,
Hey, correlation
good,
doesn't mean
good.
causation.
yeah. Post hoc
This is,
ergo propter
Yeah, yeah.
hoc.
Well, notice we wouldn't send Rob with his filthy Siegebreaker army.
Mhm.
it's funny. It's funny because we've had this conversation with Mike Rossi a few times, and Mike's like, "I want to make friends," and I'm like, "I get that, but like, if you're also practicing for a tournament, it's kind of like it's hard to balance sometimes."
Well,
right?
these guys are
I-
AOS tournament players,
Yes, used
so
to filth.
I'm just gonna bring a normal list and just
Yeah.
play. They're all seasoned miniature gamers, so that's
Yeah.
why. I'm going into that mindset of playing with them basic rules, but also showing them the depth that the game has.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
a really
I
cool
think
hunter
that's-
unit.
Yeah, I like that. But I think that's also a good point, Rob. I think in the end, the game is still a game between two people, right? And two
Yeah.
people want different things out of the game. So, like, Mike could bring the filthiest list, that he wanted. And if I played against him and I got rolled, I'm sure I would walk away still saying Mike is a nice guy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And because out of a game, I don't care if someone brings a filthy list. I'm happy for the challenge. But some people don't want that,
Yeah.
Mm.
Super cool. Chase, keep it up. I can't wait to see this in June here in Memphis.
Yeah, looking good.
Our buddy Paige is back. He's back.
Ooh, guess who's back?
Zazuzu.
Yeah,
So
that's
who's
the abyssal guy, right?
Yeah, because that's what they needed, right? Another special character.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is this the guy? I think does he have Bane Chant?
I think is this the one who sucks the wounds off people and puts it on someone else? He puts damage on someone to get extra dice? Is that him? That's one of the new abyssal spellcasters. If he puts damage on,
We're showing our ignorance. I don't play abyssals.
he rolls. No one plays abyssal.
I could paint my abyssals. I have abyssals too. Maybe I should paint abyssals.
Well, I mean, you guys talked about it on that.
I honestly think it's a list. Look, I think it doesn't make it as filthy list, but it's almost a list you can't go wrong with. Like, you can build so many good variants.
Like you mentioned at the chat at the King of Monsters, it's the best list that no one plays. And it's been the best list that no one plays for a big chunk of third edition.
Oh, you mean abyssals?
Well, and through second, I reckon. And through second. Yeah.
And Bowen did want to know why we haven't had an updated abyssal.
How did he feel? PC took
because Bowen, there's only two people producing content at the moment, and that's Rob and Jeremy.
That's a good answer, Matt. Good answer. We will get to it, but I do think seriously, I think if you look back at our abyssal review from second edition, I think it was second edition.
Yes.
I think there's probably an opportunity because the army's changed a little bit. There's a lot more ways to play this army. You can play it a heavy hitting, like grindy army with the Croniuses and the larvae, and just kind of like hold things back. I think you can play it with infantry and punch people in the face with Molochs. Or I think you can go the shooting route with warlocks and flame bearers. I mean, there's lots of different ways to play this army.
Yeah. Paige answered the Zuzu question.
Sorry, yes, exactly.
That's off the iPad.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I remembered it to be. Yeah. So you can add dice to his Bane Chant or Lightning Bolt, but the unit takes damage, but you can put it on like a unit with regen or you put those wounds out and then the Cronius helps you. Well of Souls helps you clean them up. So
this is the guy that I killed on a Michael Sigler's on top of turn 1. I shot him off with because I think he's like an 11-13 nerve. And I did like 4 wounds and then
I think that sounds right because he's just like a spellcaster basically.
Yeah.
So.
And then Michael's like, I don't have any more Bane Chant on my list. So it's like, yeah. All right.
I was like, excellent.
Yeah. Oops.
But it was a fun game.
Yeah.
I've only played Michael twice, and I played his dad once, and I will say it publicly: his dad's a better player.
Ooh.
His dad almost beat me with the older
Travis
list.
again, man.
Travis, you guys are prolific, man.
Yeah,
I like just the fact that there's like not a ton of colors on here, but they work. Very, very cool stuff.
Looks good.
Man. Hey, I got one of these models. I was cleaning up my garage today. This is a Storm Raptor, right?
This is a really great. No, this is the Phoenix.
Oh, no, that's
from,
the Mass
Mantic.
Land thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
and I think
thinking
this is.
somewhere
I love this model, but I was trying to think of, which shows you how much I don't want to play a Phoenix. That I have a base alien army that I could put this in, but I think using this as a Void Lurker is a really cool idea.
Yeah, the Phoenix, unfortunately, it's in the base alien list. It's not a bad unit. It's just not as good as other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it needs
Not
inspiring
worth the
back.
points.
I think. Yeah,
I actually like
if
this
it had
though.
inspiring, totally, I'd look at it.
So he's using it as a Void Lurker. That's cool.
yeah, I think that's a really great
That is
idea.
cool.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple of other people using it for different things. Like I reckon you could even pass that off because it's so flame-like a Well of Souls or something, or I think there's a few things you could palm it off as.
Oh, classic
Enough.
orcs, man! I'm always a big fan of classic GW orcs. They're just
Looks
something
good.
to be said. Yeah, looking good. Got a Legion of Orc axe done. Now, Nick, I'm gonna bust your balls here a little bit, but this should be more axe if you got double-handed weapons. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, Nick.
Come on, Nick.
That is not.
Do you even understand that Morax has 2 blades? Okay, feller. Actually, their blades are honed into Mount Morgul.
Here we go. Some looks. I don't know what these plastics are from. I dig the plastics though.
Oathmark, is that Oathmark? Frostgrave.
Yeah, probably. You know what? They probably are like a North Star miniature. I think they have the integrated bases like that. And look, of course, all painted up already because Steve Evans like paints an army a day.
Ooh, I like the cross on the cloak. That's cool.
That's really, really cool. Super cool. It's always fun to look at people's models, and you get inspired by the simplest of things. It could be a paint job. It could be a face tattoo, whatever.
Yeah, a little bit of freehand,
Yeah, super awesome. I'm digging this dude. Now, that dude's having a bad day.
I not answer when you ask me a question. I'm just having some connectivity issues.
Okay.
Well, that's okay. We get to see your pretty face. That's all.
Oh.
You're playing the Alex role today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Matt's being the money beats. The beats you see on the side of the road that make you pull over to buy the other beats. So he can be the money beat.
The what?
The money beats. When you're going beat shopping, it's the farm that has the hottest looking beets on the corner that make you pull over. They're the money beets.
So,
see, here I was thinking you're frozen, but it was just silence after
just stunned. This is I think this is like a Reaper model. I think
is this some sort of air? Yeah, greater air elemental.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the purple color too. It kind of.
Yeah. At least it's not just like an empty base, right? And check out my air elemental.
What'd be cool is to actually do air elementals like it was a storm.
Mm-hmm.
Like make it look like an actual twister, and it was had stuff coming out of it. That'd be cool, man.
I've still yet to see a unit of air elementals and be like, oh my god, that's amazing. So that's still, I think, an area that someone quite hasn't done yet as cool as could be. I think
I'm digging this. Sylvankin Wardens of the Sacred Grove Forest Guard.
Oh,
dude,
that's
sweet.
nice.
Freaking nasty looking.
Who is Scott Bradley?
I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Coastal Pacific Landscaping. I'm gonna guess he's a West Coaster, maybe.
No.
But I could be wrong. There's probably
who
coastal.
Was his mutual friend then?
Well, I'm friends with him. Luke Fraser. So he's got to be an Australian, right?
Well, no. So I think I instantly thought Luke Schaefer, not Fraser. So
okay.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
We're terrible human beings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. And I'm a big fan of the thick base. Love the thick, chunky base.
Yeah, no, I like this unit a lot, actually.
I think on units like that where they've really put a lot of density in terrain, I think the thick base looks cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, and that's a good example of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little less on models, but that to me looks full and as like a TO. I would be really happy with
it's 11 models, but it looks like a full base.
That's what I'm saying.
Battle company coming over.
Like
right?
if this came in, I wouldn't even question the amount of models that were on it because it's full. It looks good.
I'm gonna guess BC, Canada is where he's from. Somebody just chimed in.
Oh, the poor fella.
That would be British
Yeah, okay.
Columbia for my
Canada.
Australian friend.
I didn't know good stuff could come out of Canada. I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Well,
Oh,
this is
man.
the other side. This is the west side. West side.
Got it. That explains it. Yeah.
Not the east side.
Don't drink LeBlanc Blue is all I have to say. I'll have to tell you about that time, man. Oh, it was a bad idea.
We saw this. We saw this model earlier, unpainted, and now it's painted. Matt, going to be a Varnger Lord. That's cool.
Yeah, and just for the record, I don't think Matt that Jeremy was laughing at your model.
No,
I think
no,
he was
no,
laughing at his
looks great.
internal stories.
Yeah, I'm having a
The
moment.
bat's
but-
blue, huh?
Looks fantastic.
But don't you know
Fantastic.
that's a good memory when you react to yourself, right? You react to the memory.
Oh, I'm digging
I think-
this with the.
Oh,
with the
that
stuff
is
around
cool.
I
Where
like
it's picking
that.
up. Yeah, that's really.
And I
tasty.
like that it's the same flock material that's on the base, so it actually looks like some material. Yeah, that's
So
that is a creative idea.
This is something. This gives me a little point to remind people. We want to do an episode. So this is Mark Burr out of Jacksonville, Arkansas. So he comes to a lot of events here in town, and just saw him at Shiloh just this past 2 weeks ago or weekend before last. He's also colorblind, so this is a good example. We want to do a colorblind episode. So what does that mean? Well, how does it affect your hobby? Really? How do you paint? How do you select colors?
Do you know what's funny though? Is because I'm reasonably colorblind, so differentiation is you just live the life and you don't know, right? You paint what you see. Well, that's what I do. It'll be interesting to see the other guys. And I'm not the most colorblind person. There's different types of colorblind, but it's funny. I think you paint what you know.
Well, you know what Mark does? He just asks his wife. He says, "This is a little like crap."
Yeah, right.
Does this look
No?
Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
he runs it by his wife.
Hey, is this pink model any good? Darling,
Yeah.
that is brown.
This is Ariana the Wandering Elven King from the Sylvankin formation. Cool. This looks like
Ooh, this
like
is
a
my kind of model.
Wizards of the Coast. Yeah.
Like Whiz Kids maybe or something.
I'm not sure. Yeah. It looks like she's kind of sideways and definitely
Then there's a bit of
Jeremy
Jeremy's
style.
favorite action there. So
Yeah, dig it.
got you covered, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty awesome. Good selection of models this month. So thanks to everybody that contributed to those. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, some really nice stuff.
Well, what else on your guys' plates? Here, March 12th, we have a one-day event, 2,300 points. We're trying to get people used to clocks, so we're going to be making them use clocks. Nothing burns me more than when people bitch that we didn't give them enough time, but they didn't use a clock. It's like, well, if you use a clock, it kind of gets you into good habits, So there's that, and
we never play tournaments without clocks ever. As in my local region. It's just we just do it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the right thing to do, right? Like I think it's. It keeps you on time.
I think it keeps you on time. There's people then that become really specific. If I'm playing a new player and they run out of time and I've got 20 minutes left, well, I'm going to tell them to keep playing, But if I know that we're going to finish, if we're like at turn 5 or 6, but I think it's not the easiest on new players, but they adapt pretty quickly.
Well, assuming that last model we looked at is maybe a Wrath of Kings model.
Okay.
Just guessing. Yeah.
I wonder if Juggernaut Beach is Scott himself. It was Scott, right?
Yeah. Scott Bradley.
Scott. Yeah.
Cool.
Or was it Bradley Scott?
I think it was Scott Bradley.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm old, so my memory's terrible. So
but
once it's in there,
so you are.
Yeah, it's in there. It's the problem is getting it in there. So So we have a one day on March 12th, and then we've got Kings of Memphis 2 that'll be taking place on June 25th and 26th. We actually had like 3 people that signed up twice. I don't know how that happened. So
that's how keen they were.
Yeah. So we refunded those people's money, and so we've got a few more spots left. Is what my point. So if you're interested,
you going
to Kings of Memphis, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's who else is going to be there? The Pretzel Twinkie himself will be there. So Kyle will be there as well. So we're super excited about having Kyle.
Speaking of Kyle and Ronnie are coming out to California here in the beginning of March.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Your neck of the woods or
yeah.
SoCal?
Is that
SoCal just
first.
to visit you? Because it's not like there's any kings in the area.
Well, they're gonna go to the the Holcomb Mecca, and then they're gonna go to some game stores in San Diego or greater LA.
Nice.
I think there's a couple stores that and then they're gonna go up into the Reno because it's the Reno Gamma trade show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of like, well, we're gonna be in the sort of California, Nevada area. So let's hit out. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to try to get down there for the game day. But the SoCal guys are ready to help take care of Ronnie and Kyle. And then we have at the end of March, the last in-region tournament for us in Reno, the Jackalopes 2 spring event. So I'll be taking Basileans to that.
Is that March? When is that?
End of March. So same weekend as Adepticon.
March 19th, 20th.
Yeah, same weekend as Adepticon. So I've been doing some playtest games with that, and I have been playing with Julius, and I was blind, and now I see. Because I never really play with Julius, because the only model that I have for him, it's like a battle angel, so it's either Samacris or Julius, and I've always just played it as Samacris, and I've been playing as Julius, and that guy's filthy.
Tiny dragon.
It always makes me laugh when people are like, I hadn't been playing with the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now that I've tried it, it's really good bread.
Yeah, it's exactly true. What is this? It's called filet mignon. What does that even mean? Okay, I guess I'll try.
Yeah, I've got his own theme song for my army. Hold me closer, tiny dragon.
Yeah, he is. He's a small base, and the fact that he's elite, and then he has the angelic fervor, so it's so easy to combo charge him with my knights. Nias has a human keyword, so he gives his elite to Nias. He gives it to Paladin Foot Guard troops, 12 attacks on 3s, no crushing, but 12 attacks on 3s with elite. I mean, that's going to help you get some wounds over. So I've just been.
How'd you get him in? Drop a low high?
No, so I instead of taking a dragon and Samacris, I'm taking Nias and Julius. Yeah, it's Nias and Julius. Yeah. So basically, it's trading out the dragon and the heal for 2 combat options. It's almost like within 5 or 10 points of those duos. So I just taking them out and dropping in. Last time I
putting heal on Nias, or you just leaving him as combat?
No, just leaving him as combat. I didn't have the points, so it's 2 ogre hordes. 2 knight regiments with strengths and sharpness, so offensive knights, 2 Gur Panthers, 2 regiments of Alohi, and I'm down to defense 4 strength, the extra crushing with them.
Or even on the regiments.
On the regiments. I think I've been trying it. I think that if you get a lucky flank with them, or you can get into the flank with them, that just crushing 2, it's your upside for board space with them is just so high with that. Maybe not, maybe they might go back to defense 5 if we see more of that. Well, I mean, I'm playing this because I don't have anything. I don't have the Twilightkin ready, and adding Julius has made the army feel a little different, and I haven't played it since Alohi, and I always got so frustrated with my knights. Now at least I have an option to try to make them better by trying to combo charge. There's some sort of active gameplay that I can do better to make the knights more so I think my list version of Basileans did get a little bit better because I think the knights are better now.
Rob, there's a comment there about correction for Jackalopes.
Thank you very much, Facebook user. Jackalopes in Reno is March 26th. So it's not the weekend of Adepticon, it's the weekend after.
Oh, okay. I thought Adepticon was the 26th, 27th.
So actually, talking about Adepticon, I was just looking. It says that for Clash of Kings, there's 33 out of 50. I guess that's tickets left. It can't be right. That would only mean there's only 17 sold. It must mean they sold 33.
Adepticon's going to be weird this year. I'm curious to hear Britain's going. I'm not going this year.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to hear the feedback. But I mean, Lone Wolf has almost 70 signed up. I checked. I was looking at that this weekend. So you're always
that's pretty good.
Not all paid, but
I gotta still pay for Lone Wolf
more than you would think. I just counted everyone who's signed up, and it was in the high 60s, low 70s. So
Interesting. Yeah, Adepticon is a weird one for me. Like I've done it so much now, it's kind of like it's kind of lost its
I'm just
it's hard to lose its
over-conventions.
pizzazz, right? It's still pretty awesome, but like the cost and the the time commitment, right? Because you really just can't go up there for Saturday and Sunday. You really it's the whole thing. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You end up spending half a week. So I don't know.
There might be some people, since someone corrected us on the Reno date of who's going to be there. You know, they were asking me who I was going to challenge at Reno, and I don't challenge down. So you guys someone wants to play me, you just gotta.
Well, that's right. You never challenge down. Only challenge.
I learned that from
up.
I learned that from the Siegebreaker man himself. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so Scissors 33 out of 50 tickets. So I don't know if that's
just. And we should mention Jesse's tournament coming up.
That's got to be left.
Yeah, you wouldn't display how many were sold. I don't think for a convention.
Yeah, because then it says like I'm looking at like another example of like a demo where it says 0 out of 6. So like that's got to be how many are left, right? 0.
What does it say?
So it says
it could go either way, I guess.
It says tickets 33 out of 50.
That's got to be what's
it could
available.
Go either way.
I would think
that would mean there's only 17 people signed up.
Yeah.
Right?
When's the Adepticon? How far away?
It's coming up in March. It's the 19th and 20th is Clash of Kings. Saturday.
Are you reconsidering now, Rob? So you might go in for an easy win?
No, because honestly, like no. I got too much. I think with Seattle this year with Masters, it's just like there's too much stuff on my plate. So
well, see, Adepticon website says Adepticon March 23rd to 27th, so it is the same weekend.
Okay, I'm making it up. Sorry,
I gotta make sure I'm not.
I'm just making it up. All right. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. So Jeremy was correct.
Well, we're gonna have a really tight...
I'm glad. Oh, we know this is recorded for posterity. So
that's right.
You know.
Hey, I'm not usually wrong, so enjoy it.
We're gonna have a super close finish at the end. I think for Masters, we have one more in-region event, and then Lone Wolf's the last out-of-region swap you can lose, and that's used.
So what's Blake got to do to get in? Because we need Blake.
Well,
we need mutton chops to make it.
I'm going to show you the standings. So let me show you this. Let me show you the standings here.
Great.
And then we can share.
So Rob, while Jeremy's getting that up, Sweetie Gigante must be coming up next week.
Yeah, it's that next. Yeah, when is it? It's the 5th.
Online UB tournament raising funds for anyone that's interested. Check it out.
We have an interview with Jesse and Keith Conroy talking about it. So if you haven't, make sure.
Look at you dominating, Jeremy. Yeah, boy.
Well, that's not important. So the interesting thing, the interesting
here, nothing to see here.
Yeah,
but it's not important.
The interesting thing here is so Blake and Kyle are really close to each other in 8, number 9. Another really interesting is going to be Zach Pierce, who he's at 102 in 13th place, but he's missing a whole score. So if he is in the top half of the next, he may get 60 or 70 points that would put him within the 7, 8, 9. So I think our 6 through 10 spots are all really close to each other. So Nick a little bit. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Are the 8 involved because you take 2 teams?
No, because we only take the top 8. So it's as of right.
So top 8 go to Masters.
Yes, so it's as of right now. The top 8 are the West. Each region has 8 spots.
8 regions, 8 players, 64 players.
64 players, yeah. So that's where we're. So as of right now, that's where super close scores. So this is going to be our first year of really like down to the wire.
So ironically, me winning that tournament actually has got me in contention. But I don't know. I think I still have to have another score, so I may or may not make it because I've got to go get another in-region score. So, but then again,
I just brought up that there'll be a best of the rest this year as well. So
yeah, but good point. Good point, Ben. Yeah. I mean, even if you are just want to go and play,
and Masters weekend is like Super Bowl weekend. So if you can go, you have it. you should go. You're going to see all the great players.
You're going to see Billy Henninger with his Varninger. He'll be there.
Yeah, it's a really amazing weekend. So if you don't qualify, I highly recommend.
That should be a weekend I should aim for to come for one day, shouldn't it, Rob? We can podcast
Masters?
the weekend away.
Yes,
dude, you should.
Well,
come
this
to
would be the
Masters.
time. He's closest to Australia, right?
Yeah.
Well, or you're holding out for Southern California.
You would have. Sorry.
Well,
Southern
I got to tell you this.
I was having as long as my booze are there.
I was having a romantic dinner last night with my wife, eating a delicious hanger steak, and she's like, "Jeremy, honey, if you could go anywhere right now with me, where would you go?" And
you said, "I would go see Matt in Australia."
Yes, that's what I said. I was like, I would just really love to go to Australia to see my buddy, and then I want to go stargazing. And she's like, "Oh, I'd love to come too." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's fine, probably." You can come.
Oh, God bless it.
Oh man,
so good.
Is this Geldy? Who is this, Matt?
Look,
I can't
someone that won't even put a name to their comment. You dirty buggers.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Jefferson brings up a good point about Adepticon too. Maybe there's people that are just like, hey, it's a big crowd. Yeah. Maybe there's still people that are just like, hey.
I think this Adepticon is just going to be less people all the way around. So
I think we'll see less people at conventions for years at really crowded places. I think there'll be a bit of hesitance for years.
So that's interesting. For the tournaments that existed only within the convention framework, do those events maybe need to think about going outside of the convention? So that would be interesting.
Well, that's what I did this year, right? I just ran it at the same time as the convention, but went close by.
Yeah. Smart.
Well, boys, we're at time. Before we get out of here, is there any final announcements we need to make, or any subjects we need to cover? What a great episode! No. This has been a fun one.
Yeah, fun.
It has been a fun one.
Fresh beats.
I don't know. On a serious
note, the money beats. They're called the money
beats. Somebody needs to make that model and
have we changed my nickname in the chat to Money Beat.
There's like a cart. It's like a chair. It can be like a mammoth or something. He's pulling a thing.
I'm going to sign in as Money Beat next week.
Do it.
My name.
Better than Sheila's Wonder.
Yeah, true. On a serious note, I don't know, Rob, do we have many Eastern European listeners? Thoughts out there?
Yeah.
Anyone who might, who's in that region? What a shit time to be alive it is in the last couple of years.
Yeah, there's that, and the other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if I don't know how many Eastern Bloc, Russia, Ukraine area that we have, but the other person I want to mention is we lost Kelly McCullough this past summer. And his birthday was today, so I saw it come up on Facebook. I was like, those who don't know him, he's a great Texas painter, had one of the prettiest ogre armies in the planet. So
Arabian
Nights for his family.
It was beautiful. Yeah. It was such a beautiful
army. I remember that from 2 Lone Wolves ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the one with the the Arab-inspired.
Yeah, he
like
kind
elephants
of popped up
out
of nowhere. He hadn't really been doing much, and then it popped up. Yeah.
Yeah. So really.
I remember that was a beautiful. That was a beautiful army.
Yeah, but all our condolences, like you say, Matt. We should live in a world where we only play war. We don't actually have war. So
yeah, I mean, the last few years is just it's felt I can't count ourselves lucky enough in Australia that we're kind of removed from all of that. We suffer some consequences, but we're not in the hotbed, that's for sure. So thoughts go out to anyone that's affected by, because I'm sure it's not just people that are there, right? I'm sure we've got listeners who have family there, and so thoughts go out to you all. Not that your thoughts are much use, but
Well, it's a somber note to take us out, but probably just as good as any. So
stay safe.
Stay safe, everybody.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay in your homes. Paint. And we'll see you hopefully on the tournament circuit at some point very soon. So, Jeremy, you want to take us out?
Okay. Remember, as always, keep counter charging.
Matt, take us out. You can do
paint minis every day.
Matt, you can take us
out. Next time, keep counter charging.
That was the money beat.
The money beat.
Hit the close button.